Chapter 75, Liberty. I woke up the next morning when Marcus's phone went off, quite early at 7 New York City time, 6 Robbinsog time. Hello? I heard Marcus asking into the phone as if he wasn't awake quite yet. I had a second of silence, hoping that would be enough that I would get some more sleep. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Oh shit, are you serious? I heard Marcus say a lot louder. What's going on? I asked. Marcus then signaled me with his hand to keep my voice down. Do you want me to be on the next available / cheapest flight to Chicago today and come home today instead of a late at night flight tomorrow? Marcus asked into the phone. There was a pause. Are you sure? Marcus asked again into the phone. There was another pause. You told me she was in the hospital, Marcus said into the phone loudly. Now I have an idea of what happened. She will be okay? Marcus asked into the phone. There was another pause. Will she be in Robbinsog when Hannah drops me off tomorrow night? Marcus asked into the phone. There was another pause. Good, said Marcus into the phone. I then felt relieved. Yeah, said Marcus into the phone. There was another pause as I could tell Marcus was listening closely. What is this permanent change? Marcus asked into the phone. A look of horror then flew across my face. Seriously? Marcus asked into the phone. I was definitely still because he was. Ask to return about the cure now! Marcus screamed into the phone. Marcus then hung up the phone. She fell again, Marcus said. Oh no, I said. She is in the hospital. They're going to release her tomorrow morning. Okay. They insist we don't need to fly home. We also need to figure out when we need to be at the Detroit People Mover. I need to get over something first. What is it? She needs to be on her cane now permanently. Oh, that's too bad. Marcus then punched his pillow a few times. I'm sorry, Marcus, I said. It's not your fault, said Marcus. Look at the bright side. You always use your cane. I know, but to look cool. Yeah, I know. Marcus then banged his head into his pillow a few times. Is this going to end up being a day like it was 2 days ago when I told you I am a roar? I asked. No, I'm going to make sure it isn't, Marcus answered. If you don't mind me asking, is George doing okay? I heard him screaming in the background the whole time. I was talking on the phone with Sam. So my guess is the answer is no. Yeah, he's probably having a nuclear meltdown. Well, look at the bright side. You don't have to deal with the stress of it. Not helping. Oh, sorry. Marcus then punched his pillow a few more times. Can I ask you a question? Marcus asked. Of course. I know you want to keep this a secret, but may I ask where you booked us tonight? Oh, the LaGuardia Plaza Hotel at the airport. So I take it it's very close to the airport terminal? Yes. May I ask why you booked there? Oh, it is a nice hotel. I know that some airport hotels can be shitty, but this is not one of them. Is it near anything fun for us to do tomorrow before our flight? There's a small mall near there, and I am sure that we can find something to do. Okay. May I ask why you are asking me this now? So that way I know that if we find a note tonight, someone is on our asses. I think once we figure it all out, we better call Sam and George tonight. Good point, because we need that cure. I know. Marcus then got up and opened our curtains, and we could tell it was going to be another beautiful day in New York City. Today, I think, is going to be a great day for us to go to the Statue of Liberty, said Marcus. Especially if we need to take a ferry there, I said, walking to the window. It was hard to see the sky with there not being a lot of space between us and other skyscrapers. Let's shower, get dressed, and packed, I said. Okay, said Marcus. We then did just that and left our hotel. It was a 10-minute walk to the ferry, and then a 10-minute ride to Liberty Island in New Jersey. Here we are, said Marcus. We then got off the ferry and entered the Statue of Liberty, and then we put our suitcases in a locker for $2, and it was a long way up a metal staircase, and we were there in the Crown. Wow, said Marcus. I know, I said. Look, I always wanted to do this. I didn't know that. We could have done it yesterday. I wanted to do the Empire State Building more. I see. The statue's purpose always makes me shed a tear. What is it? It stands for American freedom. Yeah, but we all know. Yeah, but we all know that. Why does it make you shed a tear? Because this statue allows us to dress the way we do in the United States, without people staring at us. It took me a moment to think about what Marcus was saying, and he was right. I know, I said. If only Robbinsog had a statue like that, Marcus said. I wish I did too, but where would you have a place for it? Nowhere. That's the problem. I know. New York City looked beautiful today. Out the window looks even better than Chicago does sometimes. I never really am able to get a view like this of Chicago, said Marcus. Really, I asked? Yep. One of the downsides of your nation being placed in a downtown is that you never really get to see the sunrise, because you always have to travel away from downtown during sunrise. That makes me a little bit sad. But having our nation placed in the Chicago Loop overpowers it all. Agreed. I must admit, as much as I like Manhattan, I think I prefer the Loop more. Me too, but that's just because I live in Chicago, and when I lived here in the Bronx when I was a toddler, I never left that orphanage. I know. Let me ask you this. Do you think your parents would like it here, I asked? I think Chicago as it is, where our home nation is just so close to there that they probably would have had the same opinion if I had it, which is that they love Manhattan but would never want to leave the Chicago Loop, Marcus answered. I see. I do want to take my mother here, though, when I save her. You mean next year? Yes. You can take them here with us next time around. I know, especially if my dad. I think he would like it here more than my mom would. Why? You know, my dad works for Marvel Comics. Yes? Where do Marvel superheroes fight crime? Marcus asked. Oh, New York City, I answered. I know. That is why you want to take your dad here? Yep. I'm sure he would love that. I know. That reminded me of something I forgot to ask at the hotel room when he was upset over. Is your dad doing okay? I asked. I couldn't tell. He wasn't screaming in the background like how George was, but I'm sure he's not doing well because my parents are closer to each other than they are with me and my brothers, and they are pretty close with us, Marcus answered. I see. I call him, but I don't want to do it now. I think it is a good idea to call him or not to call him. Not to call him, because he is probably under a lot of stress right now. I know. That's why it is not a good idea to call them. Good. There was a pause that lasted about a minute as we were looking at the window of the New York City skyline. Have you called your parents? Marcus asked. They're probably too busy running the board to do anything at the moment, I answered. I see. They know I am probably okay. I will call them tomorrow in the airport. Good. I'm glad with how well we look out after each other. Me too. Can I ask you a question? Sure. What if you really want something from someone, but you don't feel comfortable asking them about it? Then don't ask them about it. Okay. We then looked out the window a little bit more, and then we took a selfie up there and sent it out to our families. And then we went back down to the ground and got our suitcases, took a selfie when we got back outside, and then we took the next ferry out of New Jersey and back into New York City in Manhattan, and then we began walking after a quick stop at the McDonald's, even though we have plenty of those around Chicago to begin with, because we were super hungry. And then, because Marcus wanted to see it at night, we then began walking back toward Times Square, and when we got there, it was around 4 in the afternoon, and we already had and we already looked around some shops in the sunset, and then when we were outside, it was dark out.